Welcome to Plandish, where plans are flexible, the vibes are good, and the kids are suspiciously quiet. I'm Alexandra, a twin mom, routine realist, and your guide to kinda sorta getting it together. Let's dive into today's episode before someone spills their snack. Hello, you wonderful Plandish people. I am your host, Alexandra, planner enthusiast and twin mom, and still working out how to keep a to-do list from taking over my entire life.
And I'm Joe. I don't own a planner, but I do own a lot of golf tees, which is kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Today we're pumped because we got a guest whose whole brand is literally helping people hustle sanely and instead of, spiraling in chaos like the rest of us.
She's also a Tampa native. Shout out Tampa. She's a business owner, a mom, productivity wizard, and creator of Hustle Sanely. If you've ever felt like your planner is judging you, she is 100% the person to fix that.
Yes, so grab your coffee, cross 3 things off your list that you don't really want to do anyway, and let's get into it.
Before we do, though, let's dive into our weekly debrief. I am exhausted. I am dead. I am exhausted, but we're here. We show up. We produce. What a week.
You have had, we have had, and you threw in some plane trips in there. So, where do we start? Okay, parents, everybody who is a parent, every day seems like 10. Every week seems like a year. But then when you look back on it, it's like, that felt like just yesterday.
Yeah. Again, time does not exist when you're a parent. But they had their birthday this week. That was the big milestone. They are 2, which is crazy. We had 5 birthday parties, maybe 6. Joking. But we had maybe 2. Family and then friends.
Yeah, it was more like you have your family and everyone coming to town for that. And then you have the kids. So it's just like a baby party. So literally a baby pool party.
Yeah, a lot of good family time, a lot of, seeing friends, which was fun. The weather was great all week.
Yeah, it was so good.
They had about as good of a birthday as they could have possibly had, mixed in with their first day of school. Mm-hmm. And they were even the birthday kings on their first day.
They didn't even look back. They didn't even, they cried when they had to be picked up. So I'm like, okay, break my heart even more, but at the same time, this is a good thing.
I knew they would be good. I knew they would go up, walk in, see the toys, and not even think twice about it. It's a 3-hour playground. They just got to go play in with other friends.
That is true. I will not lie. When we dropped them off, I was okay. Then when we started driving back, which literally is 2 minutes, came home, then I started the tears. The tears started flowing, and it felt like I feel guilty for doing this. And I think every single parent goes through this. I feel so guilty. They're so young. They don't need to be doing this. And then we just chatted for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can get something done. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, I got to pick them up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it went quick the first day. I think I did have some just solace time too. I sat in the room. I don't know if you even know I did this. I sat in the room and just listened to the quiet.
Aww.
And I did miss them for that first day. I think it was a build-up too. We had known about this.
Yes.
First day of school for almost the whole year. We knew this date was coming. Mm-hmm. So I think the build-up to it, I think we handled it great. You handled it great.
We both did.
I did my best. And then after, the first 15 minutes were over, I started getting to work, and it was a normal type of day.
I know. Gosh. But, it's a new routine, though. Definitely a new routine. You're always up. You're getting everybody ready. But now you're like, okay, I got to get everybody ready to go out the door. We got to do drop-offs. And I did a solo drop-off on Friday.
Yep.
Which actually wasn't bad. But, it's hard having a toddler listen, hold your hand, and stay put.
Yeah.
Times 2.
The school part's fun, though. This has been a good first week. They only had a couple days so far, but I think it went about as good as it possibly could have.
I know. Then we had our second birthday party for them this weekend, like we said before. But again, weather was great. We kind of bypassed this huge Hurricane Aaron coming around, but it's the start of hurricane season, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yep. And I did have that red eye to get back for the kid's birthday. Red eyes aren't recommended. They suck.
He flew, where'd you fly?
To Seattle. From Tampa to Seattle, Seattle to Tampa.
Under 30 hours.
Yeah, they're about 36 hours in total.
For a work conference. If that's not dedication to your family.
I do for the family, it goes unnoticed. I need more people to give me credit. No, I'm just joking. It was It was tough, but I think I went to bed at about 6:45.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I thought you would come home and, like, crash, but you, like, worked all day. I was like,
another option. Didn't have another option.
Kind of sexy.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't sexy when I was exhausted, but 12 hours sleep got me right back to it, and I was glad I was there for the boy's birthday. I wouldn't want to miss that for the world. Mm-hmm. And do we want to talk about my new gadget that I got this week? So it's been on my radar for a while. Mm-hmm. Did the person we interviewed that you interviewed for this episode, does she also plug this?
So I've seen her use this on her Instagram, and this is just starting to come about. She's the second person, obviously besides you, that I've heard of this about.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to plug this because no free ads, right? Like, pay us if you guys want us to plug. But I love this tool so much. I've been researching it for a couple months now. I finally pulled the trigger. Mm-hmm. It's called Brick, if anybody heard of it. So the main goal behind it is to help with phone addiction. And I'm not saying I'm sitting here like I'm scratching to get, social media pulled up. But during the workday, out of sight, out of mind, it's better when it's not on or I don't have access to it. So what Brick is you put your phone over this brick. It literally is a box or a brick, and it can lock out certain apps that you choose. So I chose Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat during the workday. And I tried it today for the first time. 10 hours of no social media. Now, I was busy today. Like I mentioned, I had a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great tool. 2 20-year-old college kids came up with an easy way to block out apps on their phone. I always think, why can't I think of these ideas?
And it's not like you're
Genius.
also sitting at your computer looking at Twitter and Instagram all day. Like, that's just
no.
But
sometimes you grab it mid-email, though. Like, our phones are the worst. I'm the biggest advocate saying the phones are the worst thing that ever happened to us. But
the amount of times that I'm literally watching a TV show and all of a sudden I'll pick up my phone. It's like a show that I'm actually trying to watch and understand. And I halfway through, I'm like, why am I on my phone? I'm just scrolling aimlessly. It's a little disease.
Yeah, I got it for the mornings because I'll wake up, right? The alarm goes off. I'm up at 6 and then I'll find it's 6:30 by the time I get out of bed because I was scrolling on my phone. So I have it set to when I wake up, all the apps are blocked, making me get up, go to the kitchen if I really want to. Rescan in, but I'm already out of bed and starting my day.
And I learned this is different than, like, for instance, if you put a time limit on your Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
Completely different. This is a lock. Like,
great
and
for kids possibly too.
Yes.
That was my first thought is like, kids have phones. You can turn off social media now from their phone to be unusable. You can't delete the app. So again, Brick, if you're here, if you can hear this, sponsor us. We love your product. No more free ads. It's the only time I'm mentioning it, but it was such a big component of this week. I was so excited to use it, and it worked as intended. So enough about Brick. No free ads.
No,
but please
I mean,
sponsor
like,
us.
Just I know. But real quick on that, like, I do think phones are such an inhibitor of our productivity during the day. I think it's like, and this is a perfect episode we're about to have with Jess, who's going to be our wonderful guest. But it's just crazy how sidetracked we've become as humans. How you explained this to me maybe about an hour before we go on about the screens. So we start off on a small screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
Yeah, I saw a tweet. I'm going to butcher the heck out of it, but it was, you start off your day on your good small screen. You go to your bad medium screen, and then you unplug with your good large screen.
Like your TV.
You go to bed with your other small screen. There is not a second of the day that we're just not staring at screens.
Yeah.
Which can't be good long term.
No.
But if I can reduce down the dead scrolling, even Twitter now, they've changed the algorithm. It's all just junk that just fed into your algorithm. Same with Instagram.
Yeah.
But as we're trying to make money on Instagram too at the same time. Ride the wave or get succumb to it. That's my motto.
I agree.
Yeah. And you've been glowing, I will say, you've been glowing about this before we hop into Jess. You have been glowing about this interview since you had it.
Yes.
I have not heard it yet. I'm excited to listen to this episode on Wednesday so I can hear you and Jess's conversation. But for the listeners, you get to hear it in about 3 seconds.
I am so excited. Let's do this. And now our interview with Jess. This week's guest is a woman who puts systems where the stress used to be. Jess Massey is the founder of Hustle Sanely, a Tampa-based company that helps women ditch overwhelm and create schedules to support their actual lives, not just their to-do list. She is a mom, a business owner, a recovering hustle addict, and a master of making productivity feel peaceful instead of panic-inducing. Jess, welcome to Plandish.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. Also, that intro, I'm just like, wow, you make what I do sound so cool. After you've been doing it for so long, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I do something really cool. So thank you so much for that.
Of course. Yeah, you are literally amazing. Like I've been following you for a little bit, like a decent amount of time now. I'm like, oh, she would be amazing to get on to chat. I love what she does. Like I'm all about planning too, but like having a
Yeah,
structure. And literally just before we started recording, I said I'm going to get this Peacefully Productive Planner because I
yes.
need some assistance. So
I'm so excited. It's gonna be
yes,
such a good conversation.
I love it. So we'll dive right in. So you've built a business around helping people hustle sanely. What is your chaotic girl era that kind of just started all of this?
Yeah, so it goes back to I'm 35 now. I feel like I have to start with that. And I would say my most chaotic hustle girl era was my mid 20s, and it kind of carried into my early 30s. I would say when I turned around like 31, 32, that's when things started to shift for me. And it's funny because I actually started Hustle Sanely in 2018. So I was 28. I was still very much hustling insanely. And yeah, it's very ironic. And when I started Hustle Sanely, I would say it was truly the peak of my kind of chaotic, overwhelmed, spread too thin season of life. And I was in grad school for speech language pathology, and I was working two, sometimes three part-time jobs at that time. And then I was also in practicum, so like hands-on internships for grad school and stuff. And so I am an Enneagram 3. I don't know how much you know about that. I'm an
A
achiever.
little bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm an achiever, and that I have carried with me as long as I can remember, just kind of finding my worth and my identity in what I was accomplishing. And so I started Hustle Sanely on a whim, kind of by accident. I needed a planner that could kind of, I guess, wrangle all of the things that I had going on, and I couldn't find one. And so at that time, digital planning was kind of like, this new thing, like all the rage. Everyone had their cute little like mock paper planners on their iPads. And I was like, hold on a second. Like, I can't create a paper planner, but I surely can create a digital planner that meets my needs. So I did that and I started sharing it on my Instagram stories. I was documenting my journey as an SLP grad student on Instagram back then. And I was kind of just showing, on stories how I was using my planner, and people wanted it. They were like, can we have that? And I was like, I mean, I already made it. It's just a little PDF. So I opened an Etsy store, and you had to name your Etsy store. And I was like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, what the heck am I supposed to name this? Like, I have no idea. Like, I was truly like living moment to moment. Like, this was not planned out. And so Hustle Sanely, the name just kind of like fell into my lap. I wish I had a cool story. I don't. And I was like, okay, so we'll go with that as I was hustling insanely myself.
Hmm.
So, that's kind of how it all came to be. People started buying the planners and journals and all the things, all the digital products. And they wanted to know, okay, we have these really great resources. Like, how do we use them though? Like, we know how to use them like physically, but how do we manage our time well to where we're not sacrificing our mental health and relationships? Because that's something else that I was trying to share. I promised myself that when I got into grad school, because that was like the peak of my overwhelm, my kind of not being sane at all. I said, if I get into grad school, we're going to do things differently. I'm going to figure out how to work toward my goals, be ambitious, because I knew that that was who I am and I don't want to change that. I'm proud of being an ambitious woman, but I wanted to pursue my goals in a way that still allowed me to prioritize my mental health and the important relationships in my life, because all throughout my 20s I had tunnel vision on my goals, and I just let all of those other things fall to the wayside, and it was so evident by the fruit of my life. Like, I was very uh just like a chronic state of exhaustion, and I wasn't even a mom yet at that
Oh
point. I
gosh.
was like, girl, like, I was burning the candle at both ends in the name of accomplishing things, because like I said, that's kind of where I found my identity, was being the doer, the goal getter of the
Mhm.
group. And so that was kind of when I was at my worst, was my mid to late 20s, when I realized, like, okay, the way that I'm operating isn't working. We've got to do something different. And I think, like, if I had to like pinpoint a breaking point, I remember this is before I had my daughter. I was married to my husband, and we were sitting on the couch, and he was still working his 9 to 5 at this point. And it was at the end of the workday. I was doing Hustle Sanely full time. I dropped out of grad school, like did the whole thing, ran after Hustle Sanely. And he looked at me and he was like, "What do you want to watch on TV?" And I was like, "Whatever, you can put on whatever you want." Because I'm going to grab my laptop and just answer a few emails. And I'm
Oh
putting that in
gosh.
quotes because you know how that goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 9 p.m. and I'm like, "Oh, like we're supposed to be spending quality time." And I'm answering emails for work. I like closed my little laptop and he was like, "I have to tell you, Jess, I feel like I get the crumbs of you at the end of the day." And that was kind of a sucker punch to me. And that was truly the moment where it all changed for me. Like if I have to pinpoint like when did we actually start hustling sanely, that's when the journey really began. Even though I started Hustle Sanely in 2018, the end of 2018, that conversation happened in, I would say, like late 2019, early 2020. And so that's when I was like, okay, things cannot keep going the way that they're going anymore.
That is amazing. I feel like everyone has to have like some type of breaking point, but it's just, I don't know what it is about society, and they tell us early on, once you go to school, you have to work like crazy till you're literally like pretty much dying inside. Doesn't matter if you're sick or anything, you show up,
Right.
you do things, and then your mental health completely takes an insane decline. I think that's too what I found when I was working. And then once I had the twins, after a couple months back, I'm like, what am I doing? This is
Yep.
not what it's all about. And yeah, that is awesome though that you just did a digital planner, started off with that, and kind of snowball effect into this wonderful, amazing
Yeah.
company you have.
Thank you. I always say, like, people think, like, haha, so funny. And I'm like, no, seriously, like, I started Hustle Sanely on accident. Like, I did not set out to do this. Like, this wasn't my dream job. I didn't know that this even could be a job. It kind of happened, like, bit by bit, piece by piece. So it's really cool. I'm very grateful for it. That's for sure.
Awesome. So, where do you see most people go wrong with productivity or planning now that you are a couple years into this?
Yeah, so I can speak from experience. I've worked with thousands of women and I've seen it in so many people, but I also struggled with it so deeply myself. And that is so something that I say now is our schedules and routines are tools, not chains. And where I see people go wrong, people think that the plan that they create on paper or Google Calendar or wherever, it's the end all be all. People feel like they are truly chained to their schedules, their routines, their to-do lists, that like once they set them, they're set in stone, and that they have to kind of like live and die by this to-do list and this schedule and the routines that they created. When in reality, that is going to set you up for failure every single time because we are dynamic beings, right? Every single day is so, especially when you become a parent, every single day is so different. You have to, yes, I'm a big believer in having a plan for each day because I think that's how we steward our time and energy well, but you have to hold the plan loosely. You have to realize that it is a tool, not a chain. It's meant to make your life easier, not stress you out. And so if it's not doing that, you've got to let it go. You've got to adjust. You've got to pivot. And I feel like there's so much power in learning how to pivot. And it is something that you have to learn because as a recovering perfectionist, a recovering overachiever, that is not something that comes naturally to me, being able to just go with the flow or like pivot when things need to pivot. Like you get better when you practice, but that is where I see the downfall with planning is people just kind of clinging to the schedules, the routines, whatever it is, just thinking that like it's got to be done perfect or they're not enough or the like everything is falling apart. So kind of just having that mindset of do or die when it comes to planning.
Yeah, that is so true. Like I am the worst person. I you should see my desk. I have pieces of paper, lists everywhere, and I'm one of those perfectionists too. Like I have to get to it. And if I don't get to it, I beat myself up. And then
And
my
like
husband
eat
will,
alive when you're sleeping,
yes.
you fall asleep. Yeah.
My husband will come in and he'll say, "Are these things actually going to move the needle for your day?" And I'm like, "No, they're things for me, but not necessarily." So I need to train my brain also. So yeah, I need to get on that.
Good thing you're getting the planner because something that's in the
Yes.
planner is it's called Hustle Sanely 5. And
Mhm.
that is the tool that I would say transformed my mindset around planning the most. And what it is, because it is a daily routine made up of 5 habits that we do every day to help us pursue our goals while prioritizing our mental health and relationships. But it's a routine that can be kind of rearranged and kind of molded around your day. It can ebb and flow with you. It can follow you with different seasons of life. HS5 is what I have used to like give my days some sort of structure no matter what season I'm in. So when I was pregnant, I was using it. When I was postpartum, I was using it. Now that I'm a working mom, I'm using it. Like it meets you where you're at. Like these 5 habits, they give you something to stand on and they let you be like, okay, this is enough. Like each day, this is enough. Like how your husband was asking, like, do all these need to be done every single day? Or like, what's going on here? Like Hustle Sanely 5, the 5 habits, they just kind of give you kind of like this marker for those of us who need it to be like, okay, that's enough for today. Like let me focus on other things besides like just checking off a million things.
Oh, I'm excited to try this. I need this in my life. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
cannot
you're
wait
gonna
to order this. So, because I am so new at starting out with my own back to home base, which is my thing I'm trying to build up, and then of course this podcast is very fun. So, what is your go-to advice for someone who's building a business while also trying to parent and manage it all? I know you mentioned the HS5 and everything else, but what is your advice
You
on this?
have got to, I say learn because I get a lot of pushback with this. You've got to learn how to prioritize your tasks because people think that everything can be done every single day. And that's just not the case if you want to show up well for all the different things. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is so possible to show up well for your family. It is so possible to show up well for your work. It is so possible to show up well for yourself, but you can't give 100% to every single one of those. You have to know how to prioritize, how to let things kind of ebb and flow so that you're showing up well for each thing each day. So it's like you have to understand what your vision is for each category of your life for your season. When I talk about these things, I mean like for the season of life that you're in right now. And
For
that's
sure.
another thing with planning is I feel like people think, like I said, it's set it and forget it. Like just because these were my routines before I had a kid, they don't work anymore now that I have a kid. Like my life is so different. It wouldn't make sense for me to try to plug myself into like pre-mom version of my routines. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking about all of these different strategies and tools, like just know that it is in relevance to the season that you're in right now. So you have to get clear on your vision. You have to know like what you're working toward in each area of your life right now. You have to define your priorities. You have to know what are the most important things in each area of your life right now. And then you have to create your routines and schedule to match those priorities. So I think that's kind of a lot of people will just sit down, stare at a blank planner, stare at a blank Google Calendar, and they're like, all right, let's build a schedule. But then it's just kind of like crickets in your mind, or it's either crickets or it's just kind of like, have you ever seen? I always imagine like the scene in the Harry Potter movie where the keys are like
Yes.
flying. Yeah, they're just like keys everywhere. Like that's our brain where it's just like, wait, which one do I grab? Like what am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
So it's either like super loud or super quiet. And I feel like when you start with defining your priorities from that vision that you got clear on,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what the building blocks of your schedule and routines are. You have to know the building blocks if you want a strong foundation. And those building blocks that build the strong foundation are what your priorities are for your season of life in each category. And so that's a part of the Hustle Sanely planning system that I teach. And I think it's something that people just kind of skip over because if you don't, you don't know what you don't know. And
That's
so
true.
we so often just want to sit down and we want to see the schedule and the routine written out in front of us because it makes us feel productive that we got the
Mm-hmm.
schedule and the routine like jotted down, got it created. But it's like if everything that you're putting on your schedule and your routines is kind of just like arbitrary, you're just like, wait, is this actually important? Does this actually matter? You want it to tie back to your priorities. And so I think when you do it that way, you're because it's like you're going to care about it. I feel like otherwise it just is like words on paper, right?
Agreed. Yes.
So when you know what your priorities are, it makes building the schedule and the routine so much easier. And it also shows you where you kind of have margin and flexibility because those priorities, those are like what your husband asked, like
Mhm.
what is actually going to move the needle? You're going to know the needles that you're wanting to move. Half the time, people don't even know what the needles are, right?
That
So
is very true.
yeah,
Yes.
defining what your priorities are, those are your needles. Everything else is extra on the to-do list, right? Everything else can be pushed off for another time. So
Mhm.
I think it's just so important to know what your priorities are so that you can build your schedule and routines around those.
That is such a good point. Like, I am just honestly, I'm mind blown right now because the way you, I always thought it was kind of the other way around, but flipping that script, like, I don't know, for instance, if I needed to work on my website today and I have all these stupid things like, okay, let's do baby laundry or something like that.
Right.
It is not focusing on the priority. And that's probably why I get so overwhelmed with these
Right.
minuscule little tasks that can be
And the
way
thing
pushed off.
is, all of those things are still going to get done, like the baby's
Hmm.
laundry, answering Instagram DMs, making sure your email inbox kind of figured out and it zeroed out, whatever. But I feel like when you know what your priorities are, you can give your priorities your best time and energy. Because I don't know about you, but for me, if I see this long to-do list every day and it's not prioritized, I don't know what my top three tasks are. I don't know which tasks actually move my priorities where I want them to be. I look at this list and I'm like, I'm going to do the easiest thing on that list. I'm going to grab like that low hanging fruit. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
going to do that baby laundry so I can check it off. I'm going to answer some Instagram DMs because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. But then at the end of the day, you lay down and you're like, I'm in the same place that I was in yesterday. Like I
For
have not
sure.
moved the needle because you didn't prioritize the tasks. You didn't give your best time and energy to those focus three tasks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gosh. So, how do you like adjust your systems to accommodate life with a toddler? Or do you go along with the chaos? I know, like, as we talked about, everything's got to be fluid with kids. So,
Yeah.
like, what's your easiest thing if you have something scheduled or that you needed to do for your core items? Like, how do you ebb and flow, per se, with kids and no
Yeah.
napping potentially?
So it's definitely challenging, right? And of course, there are days where I kind of just like lean into the chaos because I feel like as a toddler parent, sometimes, for lack of a better phrase, it just be like that. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
we just did potty training, and
Oh my
so
gosh.
we cleared the day, the days, like 3 days. I was like, I'm not doing any work. I'm not
Oh
doing
my
like
gosh.
no social plans, like nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
all we're focusing on is potty training. And so I kind of just threw everything else out the window. Like sometimes you just have to do that. But what I remind myself is that my daughter, being her mom, like that is my number one priority in this season of life. Yes, I'm a CEO. Yes, I am the financial provider for my family. Even so, being a present mom is my number one priority. And like that being said, I was really worried about going back to work as a new mom. And so I was like, how am I going to kind of find this harmony between work and life and taking care of myself, showing up for my friends, showing up for my husband, like all the things. And so, as I'm sure you've gathered, I am a very routine oriented girly. And I feel like a lot of people, when they hear about routines, they kind of freak out and they think like, oh, I'm getting put in a box. Like, I don't want to be put in a box. Whereas I view routines as creating so much margin, giving me back my brain space, thus creating freedom. So that's how I view routines. And so that being said, I know that I'm not the type of person who can kind of like fit my work in the margins because that's what people
Yes.
would tell me. They were like, oh, amazing. You own the business. You work from home. You can just work when the baby's napping. You can just work while the
Oh,
baby's playing. The biggest LOL moment ever. I knew. I was like, mm-mm. Like, I know that is not going to work for me. So, something that I decided was when I went back to work, I only want to work 3 days a week and I am going to have childcare. I'm going to have help because I know that I would rather focus in I do 6 hour work days 3 times a week. And so I would rather focus in on work for those 3 days, the 6 hour chunks, know that I'm doing good work for Hustle Sanely, and then be able to kind of shift into mom mode, wife mode, taking care of my own self mode, being a friend, like being a granddaughter, like all the things. And so I knew for me that that was an investment that I was willing to make so that I could show up well, so that I could find that harmony. I decided to invest in childcare. And so I think it's kind of figuring out like what you need to invest in, whether it's monetary investment, time investment, system investment, like whatever, figuring out like what you need in order to show up well for those areas. And like I said, as a recovering workaholic, as somebody who I don't do well with just dipping in to work here and there, like I'm either in
Oh
or I'm
yes, that's same.
yeah. So it's like, I know I'm not going to be working at nap time. Like it would just be, it would turn into me working all the time. And I don't want my daughter to grow up seeing me having, my laptop in one hand, my phone in the other. Like that's just not what I'm trying to do.
For
And
sure.
so I knew that that would require an investment of me time with her. So, those 18 hours a week that I'm not quote with her, she's here at the house and I'm here at the house, but she's with her childcare and, I'm in my office doing my thing. I'll see her when I go out to grab lunch or whatever, which is so amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. Um, but I think just kind of learning where you're willing to give and where you're willing to not give. And so I didn't want her to see me halfway working all the time. And so I knew
Yeah.
that that meant that I needed to kind of remove myself for those 18 hours a week to run my company. And so to me, it's a win-win because I'm like, I get to be a bomb CEO, like growing and running this company that financially provides for our family. And I also get to be a present wife, a present mom who I get to take care of myself. I start my days off like doing what I need to do to fill my cup, and I'm spending, 4 days a week with my daughter all day long. Like it's just, you have to figure out kind of like how you operate. And like, that's why I said, I know about me, I don't operate well, like working in the margins. And I knew that I would never find that quote balance if I tried to do it like that, like working
For
during
sure.
naps and, all the things. So I think just kind of meeting yourself where you're at is what it's
Mhm.
all about. Like figuring out like, okay, how do you want to show up for each of these things, like each of these roles that you have, and what do you need to do to show up that way?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, gosh, that's something I'm trying to work on with my twins and family and everything, but yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta always make time for yourself, and that's like the number one thing is like,
Yeah.
yeah, especially being a
It's
parent.
always, and I feel like too, there are so many moving pieces to running a business, being a mom, taking care of your house, taking care of yourself. And so I think so often people are looking for that perfect routine, that perfect
Hmm.
schedule, but it doesn't exist. And I think once we realize that, it makes the process so much less pressure filled. So like I used to be so like rigid when it came to schedules and routines, and when I became a mom, I had to let that go, or else I would live in this constant state of stress or this constant state of feeling like I'm not doing enough or feeling like I'm failing all the time. And like, I know that's not how I want my daughter to grow up seeing her mom act, right?
Yes.
Like, she's a sponge. I'm a mirror for her. And so
Hmm.
I want her to see that I'm able to show up for the important things, kind of let everything else go. I want her to see me prioritizing rest. I want her to see me prioritizing my marriage. I want her to see me spending time with my friends. I want her to see me down on the floor playing with her, not like with my phone in one hand and kind of like halfway playing blocks with her. I wanted her to see me as a present person. So, in order to do that, I had to learn how to say no to things. So, you have to say yes to the things that are the priorities, but on the other side of that, you have to learn how to say no to the things that aren't.
Yes, very
Hard.
true.
It's hard. It's not easy. Like I say it like it's easy, but it takes practice and it is tough, but it does get easier as you do it more and more.
That, yeah, learning and practicing, I definitely have to pick up on because I'm the
Yeah.
same way. Like, I used to live by a super rigid schedule, and I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of do.
Yeah.
And I have this big issue because I want to be perfect. I want to be this perfectionist that when plans don't go within my little buckets, I almost like short circuit in a way. And
Yeah.
I recognize it. I mean, that's a step one is
Oh,
now I
for sure.
recognize it.
That's a big deal.
But
Yeah.
but I need to get better about being like okay if things change. So that is a big thing of learning
Yeah.
and going through that. So Oh, so what do you totally ignore now that you use, like, what do you totally ignore now that you used to obsess over?
I kind of already alluded to it, but it is the answer. Time blocking. I used to think that time blocking was the
Yep.
end all be all when it came to
Mm-hmm.
productivity. I was like, if you're not time blocking, you're wasting your time. If you're not time blocking, you're not stewarding your time well. Now that I'm a mom, I'm just like, there is no freaking way that
Yeah.
I can time block every day. Like, no way. So I think letting time blocking go and leaning more into like the rhythm of the day and kind of figuring out like, okay, I still have routines, I still have my to-do list, but it's kind of like letting each day unfold with an intentional plan, but a plan that I know how to kind of move around because I know what the important pieces are. When you know what the important pieces are, it's so much easier to play that schedule Tetris, if you will.
Hmm.
When everything feels important, it's impossible to play that schedule Tetris. And that's when you're in this feeling like of constant stress, constant like, oh, I need to keep up. Oh, I need to hurry up. Oh, I need to do more, cram things in, cram things
Yes.
in.
Oh,
But when you know what the important things are and you get those things done, it creates space in your life. And naturally, the little things get done because the space is there. So like we talked about like the baby laundry, whereas like okay, for example, like I know that today I needed to turn in like my workbook for my membership. So we do like a quarterly workbook in our productivity membership and it was due to my designer today. So I was like that is what I'm going to start my workday with because then
mhm.
I know for sure it will get done. I'm not going to start my day with those little tasks like, oh,
Yes.
answering DMs, answering emails. Like, yeah, those things
Hmm.
need to be done, but they don't need to be done first. Like, they
Yep.
will get done after lunch. They will get done like in the margins of my workday. They don't deserve my best time and energy.
Hmm.
The task that's due today deserves my best time and energy. And so I know it just keeps all kind of going back to
Hmm.
prioritization, but it's such an important skill to learn, especially as a business owner and a mom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is just the biggest thing is breaking this, I mean, literal hustle culture.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I've only been doing this. Quit my corporate job in March. So it's only a few months in, but we're starting to
Congratulations.
get the flow. I
Yeah.
know. It
Yeah.
was so exciting. It was so liberating. And I
Yeah.
finally feel
Right.
like this suppressed creativity for literally like 14, 15 years is finally coming up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this. But I still am a little bit all over the place. I need to now
Right.
kind of like hone it in. So
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited because my twins get dropped off at their two school tomorrow. So I'm going to sit and do my little first productivity planner.
Hey, have a little vision meeting. I love it.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
We're actually coming up on the last quarter of the year. So it's a great time to get pre plan.
Wild.
But I'm going to do a little rapid fire with you super quick. It's going to be an either or just say what like first comes to your head. So actually this is an easy one. I put this on there and now I'm going to say it still because I love hearing responses.
Yeah.
Time block or to-do list?
To-do list.
Yeah.
100% to-do list.
Yeah.
Prioritized to-do list. How about that?
That is good. Very good. Digital planner or paper planner?
This is an annoying answer. I'm both. I have to have both. I use a paper planner, but then I
Hmm.
also pair it with Google Calendar. So, but I don't use a digital like planner, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I guess
Hmm.
paper planner if I had to pick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that thought of writing down, but I also like having everything on
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
same.
I'd use Google Calendar as like kind of my catch-all. It houses all my tasks
Hmm.
and like all of our planned events, so like events that have like times bound to them. But I use my planner to create my weekly plan so that I know what's the most important every single day. Because my brain cannot compute seeing that on a computer. When I
Yeah.
just see a whole list, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. But when I see it broken down in my planner, like, okay, these are the most important tasks for this day, this day, this day, my brain is happy. And so
Yep.
I love a happy brain.
Do you like themed task work days? Do you like those or not?
I do. I do.
Mhm.
I used to use them more when I had a 5 day work week. Now with a 3 day work week, it's a little tougher. I have themed parts of my day instead
Hmm.
of like entire days dedicated to things, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I love a theme moment. I
I
do.
know. I do
Yeah,
too. It kind of like gets me excited for the day
I
sometimes.
know. And especially like back when I was working, full weeks, I would have like these potato days where it was like behind the camera. I wouldn't have to be on any calls or interviews. Like I would batch all of my calls and interviews so I wouldn't have to get ready every day.
That's
That
really
was
smart.
so nice. Yeah.
That is really
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
All right, talking it out or brain dumping on paper?
Talking it out. I'm an external processor. I have to, yeah, I like to talk it out first and
Mhm.
then take what I talked out and then brain dump.
Yep.
So annoying. I am choosing both for every single
No, I
one.
totally get it. It's very valid. I totally get it. And then last one, absolute favorite planner product that you have or product in general.
Peacefully Productive Journal. The
Oh,
journal. Yeah.
well, that's okay. I need to write
I'm
this down.
yeah. I'm an anxious girly. I have generalized anxiety disorder, and journaling is my personal number one tool in like my anxiety toolbox that helps me to cope.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's something that I do at least 4 days a week to just keep my mind healthy. I call it my mental health hygiene.
That's really good.
So that's why I love our journal because it's a guided journal, but it also has free space to write as well. And I like to have both. I like prompts because
Hmm.
I can't just open a blank page because then I'm like, what do I do here? So
Yep.
I like to have the prompts on the left side and then space to brain dump, or I personally like write out a prayer there every morning. So I love our journal. It's my heart product for sure.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, Jess, thank you so incredibly much for coming on Plandish. Like everything you shared from building systems that work to giving yourself permission to slow down and prioritize in the right way is exactly the vibe that Plandish is always trying to do.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited that we got to chat this afternoon.
Okay, we've had a lot of great people on here, like amazing people, but Jess's whole productivity system, Hustle Sanely, I'm obsessed. Like such a wonderful conversation. And she's so right and accurate by saying you really do. It's not like something you could dive into and say, you know what, today I'm going to do this. It's a learning process. And she teaches this, and it's absolutely outstanding. I mean, I've used her planner now. It's by the time people are listening, it's been a little over a week, and her journal. I love it, and I like that. For me, I like to write, but I also like digital. So I think that digital part helps me out a lot. But I am on the wait list for the 2026 planner. But
Giving credit
amazing.
where it's due. Yeah, and again, I was not on that episode, but I will give a shout out. Her name is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much plandish, hustle, but do it sanely.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
I do too. All right, moving on to the Elitish 8. Do 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 do.
Yes, it is Elitish 8 time. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming after last week's. We calling it what, an all-star break?
And yeah.
Well, thank God. I was going to say, don't worry, I'm going to get to your victory. Thank God those votes did not count. I'm pretty sure the only person that voted for me last week was myself.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations. You did take home the Elitish 12.
I played the favorites. I played classic stuff like pizza, lava cakes, cannoli
Yeah, I messed
dip.
up hard. I really did. I went with what I like, but that's maybe doesn't play well in the graphic. It's a learning thing with this Elitish 8, Elitish 12.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan was awesome, though.
It was amazing.
Yeah, well, not amazing enough because he did finish second behind you. Still a fun category, though. Shout out again to Stefan for picking that category. Favorite Trader Joe items. If you haven't listened, go listen to last week. It was a very fun episode, but
We gotta do that again because you can go on for probably a couple episodes of favorite items.
celeb Elitish 8s, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to eventually
We'll
do
throw those in.
something after this competition ends.
Oh yeah.
But right now we're back to the grind. Massive week. Just to recap, we are tied at 3 apiece.
I know.
It's first to 5.
I know.
Full day off.
Oh,
Do I need to say that
gosh.
any louder? You have a full day off with no guilt tripping.
Mm-hmm.
You get a full, unabashed day off. You can do whatever you would like. I feel, especially on this tipping point week, that this topic is going to be a great one for me. I just feel super confident in it.
Can I just say, like a full week, a full day? Is anybody else out there, when you do get a day off, feel guilty with your kids and then you miss your kids?
No.
Okay,
No.
Joe.
I'll take a million days off. I would love a day off. I don't know that feeling because I haven't had a day off. I don't even know what that would feel like, so I can't have
Yeah, you
anything to
actually
compare.
don't take, well, work-wise, you don't take days off, but like,
We got to be better about that, though.
I know, we really
We
do.
really got to,
do
like,
the shifts thing.
and just have a day.
Yeah.
But our schedule also doesn't
I
allow
love the
it.
boys, though. They're amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Our schedule does not allow us to have time off, though, as well.
no.
But
That's our life. Continue.
yeah, no more cliffhangers. Let's let everyone know what this week's Elitish 8 topic is. A really fun one. It's going to be your favorite childhood cartoons. Now, we did anything from the 90s to the early 2000s. Pretty loose with it, I would say. As long as it's a cartoon and as long as it was airing in the 90s or before 2010.
Let's do it.
Is what we're calling
ready.
it. Now, there's no way we remember who's supposed to go first, right? You went first the first week.
Me, you. I think
It's
it's
great
me.
podcasting. Is it you? I'll let that be.
Okay.
I'm that confident in my list.
We will put it in that it is me, and next time will be you.
Okay. Deal.
I am ready.
Now, I don't think we're going to have the same ones at all.
No.
I don't think there's going to be any crossover.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know why, because we did mention a lot of shows that we both liked as little babies.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
On this?
Not on this, but at home.
You have a better memory than I do. If you said that to me, I don't remember what yours were.
Yeah, I know your memory.
Well,
you have selective hearing, dude.
I'd be shocked if you got mine anywhere accurate either. I think I'm going to surprise you with a couple. But go ahead and get us started.
All right. I'm going to go with a fan favorite because any girl growing up in the 90s, early 2000s would have watched this show, Powderpuff Girls.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
I had my sisters. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. I liked Powderpuff Girls.
It was a good Universal show. I mean, it was hilarious.
We watched an episode, maybe a year ago, and we forgot Mojo Jojo.
Oh, so good.
The monkey has his brains showing, and he's in a spacesuit.
I love
it.
it.
A Mojo Jojo.
Whenever I was playing dress up with my friends, I was always Buttercup, the green.
Do you remember that creepy devil guy? That guy was weird.
Yeah. All right, what's your pick?
My first pick of the first round, so easy. This was a everydayer for me and Samantha. Rocket Power.
I had that on my list, dude.
Rocket Power.
I should have gone with that first.
Or right, no, that was.
Oh Lord have mercy.
I butchered it, but Rocket Power. And then there was that uncle that owned a salami shop or something. It was a great show. I couldn't remember character names, but that was a staple item for me and Samantha in the mornings.
I had it on my list.
Yep, good first pick. Then that sounds like.
All right.
What's your second one? And you're keeping track of your own because I usually do it for both.
I always keep track of my own.
Well, I've been keeping track for both, but go ahead.
I have got it. All right, my next pick. Get ready. I'm gonna get all the votes from this one.
Okay.
Pokemon.
Oh.
You never watched Pokemon?
No. I know what you're talking about, though, with the girl in the pink. People are going to hate me for this. People are going to roast me for this. There was a girl in the pink and the guy in the blue, or Ace.
Yeah.
And then there was some other girl. I never watched it, though. No.
You never watched. But you played the game when it was a fad, 10 years ago.
The internet game where you scan around the world and they were, tracking everyone's things.
I never played that. You played that, but still, I watched Pokemon.
Yeah, hand up, it's a weak spot for me. I know a lot of people love Pokemon. I just was never into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your second pick?
Okay, my second pick. This is, again, super easy. This was a fun one. I almost need to do 2 rounds of this, but Rugrats.
Yeah, that is
Very
definitely
easy.
you.
Now, I will add, I saw this the other day. The parents in Rugrats, Stu and something Pickles.
They had twins.
Well, that was the other family.
Oh, yeah.
They were 32. They were 32 in that show.
Oh,
if you
good
rewatch it
God.
now, he's making pudding at 3 a.m. He looks tired. He just got home from work. I feel like if we rewatch that, it'd resonate way more with the adults than it would with the babies. Those were 32 in Rugrats. Shout out Tommy Pickles. Great show. That's my second.
All right, I am going in with my third, Kim Possible.
Yep. People are going to know who's who on these.
I mean, so what?
Yeah, well, that's... I think you have figured out Elitish 8. It only took you the first 4 weeks of getting demolished. So now you understand the game,
buddy boy,
of play the hits. Hey, this leans girl, and wonder who this is. Yeah, you came out swinging.
Could be anybody. All right,
it's a good
go
one.
ahead.
My third, this was actually one of my personal favorites, Hey Arnold. I watched that a ton growing up. Now, did you watch an episode? It's okay to say no.
I did watch Hey Arnold, but it wasn't a
Football
fan
Head?
favorite for
Really?
me. Yeah.
Stoop Boy,
Yeah.
and then Football Head,
I
and he
got
had his
some
friend.
honorable mentions, though, to mention after
Well, we got to
this.
finish the round first, but yeah, Hey Arnold was a great staple item. I
was
can
good.
tell that the look on your face if people
I
can't
didn't
see
watch it often.
Okay.
Obviously, I was watching, the first couple before that. But,
Yeah. I'm trying to even remember who the bad character is in that. Who was his... arch enemy? Our arch enemy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it. We're gonna cut that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What is your
Fourth pick?
fourth pick?
Dexter's Laboratory.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Since I don't have another pick, look what I was waiting to say. Dexter's Laboratory.
That's all right.
I would have switched Dexter's with Hey Arnold had I knew you were gonna do that.
It's fine. You gotta be quick.
Do you remember when I had that phase? This was pre-kids. Mm-hmm. Cartoon Network would show it after work, and I had like a 2 or 3 week span where I would watch it. Recently. You don't remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
It was before kids.
Okay, speaking, you just said Cartoon Network. Does anybody on here remember cartoons?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
My sister said that the other day. I'm like, oh my God, that brings me back.
Yeah, and I think it was even like the black and white letters,
yes.
cartoons.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do want to do some honorable mentions. I think
Wait,
that's
you didn't
good.
finish your fourth pick.
You're right. You stole Dexter's Lab, and I'm already...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, my fourth pick...
Scramble.
No. I've got really good ones here. I'm going with Fairly Odd Parents.
That's good.
Yeah, I know the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
The whole intro song. I'm not going to sing it.
Do you actually?
I know, like, if it was on, I would be able to sing along to it. Or if I had a starter for it. But, yeah, that was another show. Vicky.
Uh-huh.
Always giving me commands. Bad twerp.
Oh, God.
Doomed and gloomed up in his room. Spoken instantly.
It sounds like we need to have like a little cartoon marathon this weekend.
The kids, dude, I'm telling you, these ones are much better.
Yeah.
I ain't doing Cocomelon. I'm not doing...
No, God, no.
I couldn't even name...
That's what annoys me.
I think Miss Rachel is... that show sucks.
It is good for young, like, babies and toddlers. I think the mouth forming of the words and everything. But besides that, let's do our honorable mentions because I have a few.
No, you want to go first? Because I'm down to do this.
Okay. I have at least... Yeah, so Magic School Bus.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a good one, too.
It was more of an educational film. Like, you'd get that shown when the teacher was hungover in school, and they'd wheel out the cart, and then you either watched Osmosis Jones,
I never watched Osmosis Jones, like,
I think I saw
ever.
it 10 times in school because, like, the health teacher would be... Now I know this on the other side because Stefan tells me. But... wheeling out the TV, and we'd watch Osmosis Jones. I've seen it. It's actually a very funny movie.
Oh.
It's a very funny movie.
I also had Johnny Bravo. I used to watch that a lot.
That was a great one. No, that wasn't like a staple item for me.
No, it was like one of those things that were on. You ever have
Cartoon
sleepovers
Network.
with people, and like those are the things that are playing till like, you know, you're supposed to be asleep, but everyone's up at 12, 1, 2, and it's like the old Cartoon Network was running.
Yeah.
Those were the shows that you would watch.
Well, in that same vein, so I wasn't a Johnny Bravo guy. I was a huge Ed, and Eddie.
Oh my God!
That
How did we
was
not
the
pull that
best
one up?
show. I had it on. There's only 4 spots. This was you could have done.
Oh God!
I could have done 8 different picks for this one.
Did any of your sisters ever watch Sailor Moon?
No, I've never even heard about it.
That was another good one. It was definitely geared towards
There was a
chicks,
weird Reddit thing of Ed, and Eddie, like they were all actually not alive because there was no parents ever in it. Reddit is, you could go down rabbit holes
Dude,
on all
Reddit
these shows.
is just a bunch of people
It gets you
giving their
thinking,
own
though.
opinions.
It does get you thinking, though. There's some
Okay.
weird conspiracy theory about Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, dear God.
We won't get into it.
People
but
just like to make shit up of it.
I don't know. It makes a lot of sense. What other did you have on your... I had Doug. Did you ever see Doug?
I wasn't a huge fan.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Recess? How about Recess?
Recess was a good one.
Very, very good.
Yep. But that was all I had. That was a good one.
SpongeBob I had
I'm
on there.
actually shocked. Why didn't you say SpongeBob? That's your favorite show.
Because Rocket Power, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and Fairly Odd Parents.
You would have won.
Fit that category more.
You would have won if you said SpongeBob. I'm actually shocked.
Well, it's tough too. I mean, what am I going to put early SpongeBob? Because there's SpongeBob still being made now, but those early, maybe 10, 12 seasons.
I feel like if you
they're
classify
so
it
funny.
as like 90s, early 2000s, people will know.
I know. And you went
You
all
lost.
your girl stuff.
You lost, dude.
I know.
You
I
lost.
really do feel like it already. I feel
SpongeBob, why didn't you come out swinging with that? I'm so shocked.
Rocket Power is a huge get. People are going to really
but
resonate.
you could have done that second.
I know. Well, I had Rugrats, and I wanted to say the parents
Scramble
were
in
32.
the eggs. Scramble in the eggs.
No, you know what it feels like? It feels like I'm holding sand, and I had a 3-1 lead, and the sand is dripping down through my hands, because this was the one I went into it like, okay, 4-3.
It's okay. Your mind is starting to shift into football. It's starting to...
Well, let's do a gender neutral. We got to figure out how to do a gender neutral one for this next one. Or let me pick. You got to pick one when you were flailing. That's what got you jump started. Is it was 3-1 and I let you have one. So maybe I get to pick one.
Yeah.
Favorite NFL teams. No,
okay, dude. No, that didn't...
No, that won't. You'll get 0 votes on that. Your demographic does not skew NFL. I would guess. Just going to go out on a limb. But yeah, good week. Do we want to recap? So I kind of just did.
Recap.
Rocket Power, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Fairly Odd Parents. On paper, it looks great. If these were on TV now, I'd watch them. What was yours?
I had Powderpuff Girls, Pokemon, Kim Possible, and Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be close, but I'm confident that your girl power will reign supreme. Yep. But we'll see. Hop on, if you're listening on Wednesday, I like to do this every week and just remind, back to home base, and that's back TWO, home base, on Instagram. The story is going to be up for 24 hours, so if you're listening on Wednesday, go vote.
Yes.
Please and thank you.
Again,
we appreciate it.
Let's give somebody a day off. But, all right. Now to, I love all of our segments. I love just bullshitting about our debrief for the week. I love the Elite Shape because I love the competition. And in the group chat, I just love hearing people's stupid, hilarious responses.
It's got a good flow right now. And if anybody has any suggestions, we're open to it. But we're in a battle for Elite Shape. I think the topics we're picking are fun.
Yep.
They get my mind going. And then the in-group chat, I know I say this every week, but I don't see them until I see them on the show doc when it's time to do it, and they're always very funny. This is a very good topic. Did you pick this topic? Or is this fan
yes, I did.
Submitted?
Nope.
Okay.
I did not do a fan submission this week because I kind of want to stay a little bit on theme. I don't know, which is our general...
Easier said than done.
...podcast.
What is this week's theme, though?
This week's theme is the most random thing in your notes app right now. I mean, mine's a mile long of just shit.
So when I saw this, I wanted to say what was in mine.
Yeah.
Which we can lead off with.
Or you want to end?
Well, I'll lead off with it.
Okay.
So I have a folder. Now, I don't know if I should dox this to the world. I'm guessing there's no bad guys listening to this. No people that are going to rob me of my information. But I basically have all my passwords in my notes app. Now, here's the caveat. I don't label it Joe's personal passwords. I label it Joe's nudes.
Oh.
That way, if a robber ever accesses my information and they open my notes app, they're not going to open up Joe's nudes and say, oh, that's got nudes in it.
You never know, dude.
Well,
you never know.
I got bigger issues there, but I think that's my last line of defense. I know any cybersecurity person listening into this is going to be rolling over or curling their toes, but I do have something in my phone with, because I'm the worst with passwords.
You don't have everything in there.
I have everything in there. Every single password I've ever needed. Oh, yeah. Wink, wink, wink. So she's giving me the winky sign. My social security number is 163. No, I'm just joking. But it is labeled Joe's Nudes. It's my line of defense for any cyber crime criminal that wants to steal it. He has to go through Joe's Nudes first. So I wanted to start with that. Now I'll let you proceed with the rest of the group's submissions. What do we got?
Perfect. All right. We have got... All right, someone said list of baby names. Guilty.
Yeah,
everybody's done that.
You did that for a while.
Another person said girlfriends' orders of different restaurants.
Wow,
so
smart. I think I've seen this. Okay, where did I see this? It was almost like there was fast food restaurants and then exactly what that girlfriend or wife gets from each restaurant. Smart.
How long?
Down to like the sauces or how many pickles are in there.
Wait, Joe, I'm just curious. How long have we almost known each other?
Name a restaurant. Name a fast food restaurant. I'll rattle off your order right now.
Okay, all right, let's go. Let's go. Wendy's.
Okay. 2 junior cheeseburgers. 6-piece nugget. The sauces that you need are going to be sweet and sour. 3 sweet and sours for 6 nuggets. Again, that was 3 packs for 6 nuggets, guys.
Correct.
If I come back with 2 packs, I might as well be dead.
You never want to run out of sauce.
I might as well be dead. We should actually tell that story, by the way, when we first started dating. I know it's going to be a segue, but I think it's worth it.
Okay.
So you get 6 nuggets, 2 junior cheeseburgers, 3 packs of sauce. You don't like fries.
Nope.
So some kind of a drink, maybe a Frosty if you're feeling frisky. And then one of those lemonades.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Challenge me something with something harder next time. But let's tell the story. Do you want to tell it or should I tell it? In the words of Michael Scott, babe, should you go first or should I go first, babe?
I'll tell the first part. We just went through a drive-through. We got home.
Pretty normal so far.
We were just newly dating.
Fresh. Maybe within the first couple months. This was early.
Yeah, and they didn't have sauce.
Okay.
They didn't put any sauce in the bag.
And what happened then? Where did you go to console yourself?
I was pissed, okay?
You went and cried in the closet. Let's just be very very forthcoming with what the
I didn't
story's
cry in the
about.
closet. You either you like your sauces or you don't. I cannot raw dog a chicken nugget or a burger. I gotta have something to dip it in, and I'd rather have more
get
than
that.
enough than not enough. You will never see me raw dog any type of food. Like literally.
So
nothing.
Wendy's was out of sweet and sour wherever we went. Mm-hmm. What did I do? So you were crying in the closet. I didn't say a word. I exited out the door.
I thought you freaking left. I was like, oh shit.
Maybe I shouldn't have cried about the sauce. I just lost the man of my life. Maybe it was a little overreaction. Yeah, maybe those thoughts should have gone through your head. But no, I drove to another fast food restaurant, possibly McDonald's. The details don't matter at this point. Mm-hmm. I got their sweet and sour sauce, drove back home, and gave it to you. So you were able to eat your meal.
That was very romantic.
Well, I mean, early on.
And now you have crippling anxiety going through drive-thrus because if you don't get enough sauce.
No, it really does, because I know we're coming up to the line and there's people honking behind me and the lady's trying to fastly get you your food, and you have me sit there for 5 seconds. It feels like an hour to go through and rifle through like you're going through your Rolodex.
All right, I'm posting this
sauces.
as a poll. I'm literally going to post this as a poll. Like, who needs sauce or cannot leave without sauce?
But to the point where you won't eat your meal, or to complete, like, we just have to turn around and go back to it, it scares me every single time. If I don't have the sauce in there, okay, I'll still eat this. It's not going to be the end of the world.
I can't, dude. But last tangent, should we do favorite condiments as Lita Shade?
That was on there as far as an option for next week.
Potential.
All right. That could be good. Well, can I give one more tangent?
Okay.
Because this has been on my notes app for a while to talk about. I also would like to know if anybody else does this.
Okay.
Let's say you have a big order. I'm talking $20 plus at fast food. Your wife or significant other is in the passenger seat. They're not having any of the food. Does anybody else go, "Hun, what was that? Okay, we'll also get one double cheese burrito and a Crunchwrap Supreme," to try to offset that. Not that this guy cares. He's working at Taco Bell in the drive-thru, and I'm worried what he thinks of me. He's never going to see me again. He's going, "Oh, this fatty is eating all this food."
Also, how romantic of me, because I actually say, yeah, that was it, and I confirm.
You started doing that. You used to be like, "No, that's not me," or "It's going to give you gas," or
I
something.
literally did say that. I was like because I wanted to piss you off. I'm like,
Dairy Queen.
It's gonna give you diarrhea.
Yeah, I was trying to order. "I'll have a large Blizzard, please," and her from the back seat, "It's gonna give you diarrhea."
You were so pissed.
And at large did give me diarrhea. You were right, but when you want
all right,
Blizzard,
we're getting too off track here. This is TMI.
How sad is it? How many drive-through stories did we just rattle off? Like 5?
Dude,
is that sad?
We're getting back on it.
Yeah. How did we get here?
I don't know, dude. All right.
Oh, girlfriend orders at different restaurants.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm only gonna read like 2 more because we.
No. Read these. It's okay. Read them.
All right. Somebody said 1,000 grocery lists.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Notes app is good for grocery lists.
Another person said ideas for side hustles.
Mm-hmm. As long as you take those ideas and put them into action.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. Another person said all the things my husband does that pisses me off.
Jeez.
Whoa.
I hope you don't have a list like that of me. That you're just gonna stare at that all day. Like,
hey, you can add to it. It could be a mile long.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. Another one said things I forget to do when they are on there.
Dude, all the time. So another thing that happens to me is I write something in my notes app. I don't remember why I wrote it.
Yeah.
I'll put down like a code or
oh my god, I did that
name,
too.
And I'm sitting there. I'm like, why did I ever write this down? It was important at the time, but then I can never forget or never remember it.
Movies or shows to watch. That's a good one. And then
I love doing that.
The last one, New House Wants. I do that. Yeah, that was me.
The movie is good because we talked about last week how hard it is to find something on Netflix.
It is so hard.
If you have the running list of, I want to watch this, I want to watch this, then the app or the Notes app just takes care of it.
Yeah. Asinine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if today's episode hit home for you or your planner graveyard just got exposed, make sure to check out Jess at Hustle Sanely and give her a follow. Or please go try out some of her amazing, amazing products. I actually can get you 20% off using the code Alexandra40. So use that at checkout. I know. But also don't forget to rate, review, subscribe so we can keep bringing in amazing guests like her.
Yeah, great work as always, Alexandra. I'm enjoying this ride with you. No matter who is listening on the other end, we are in it together. And to me, truthfully, bottom of my heart, that is all that matters.
I love you.
I love you too. That's the first time we've said that on the podcast. Is that 13 episodes in? It took us the first time to say I love you. But to sign off in typical Joe fashion, over and out.
I love it. Thank you so much and catch you later. If nothing else, you showed up, and that is the most plandish thing you can do. Subscribe, share it with your chaos crew, and we'll see you next week.